Hi there and welcome to Juicy Celeb Talks. Diddy, also known as Sean Combs, has recently found himself embroiled in a significant legal scandal. The music mogul, whose career has spanned decades in the industry, was arrested at a hotel in New York City, facing serious charges, including racketeering, human trafficking, and other criminal activities. The accusations claim that he was involved in organizing and filming non-consensual acts referred to as free hacks, according to a federal indictment. During his court appearance, Combs pleaded not guilty to all charges, but his request for bail was denied, leaving him in custody as the legal battle unfolds. At the heart of these allegations is the claim that Diddy arranged these free hacks, coercing women into acts they did not consent to. Prosecutors allege that not only were these events orchestrated by Combs, but they were also filmed, adding a disturbing layer of exploitation to the charges. The prosecution paints a picture of an organized criminal enterprise led by Combs, where he allegedly manipulated those around him to assist in facilitating these events. His employees and close associates are believed to have played roles in ensuring the abuse occurred and remained hidden. These accusations, while shocking, are not isolated. Over the past year, Diddy has faced a slew of other claims, ranging from sexual misconduct to more severe assault allegations. One notable instance is the attention drawn to the toxic environment surrounding his infamous parties. A resurfaced comment from a prior acquaintance highlights the disturbing nature of these gatherings. "I don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a Diddy party," the individual remarked, further hinting at the troubling atmosphere often shrouded in secrecy. Public sentiment has increasingly turned against Combs, with many feeling that his behavior has gone unchecked for far too long. Some even express a sense of inevitability that he would eventually face prison time, given the details now coming to light. "Some guys belong in jail based on what they've done, and Diddy may very well be one of them," stated a former associate who witnessed questionable behavior firsthand. Rumors have circulated about the influence Diddy's past mentors may have had on him. One story recounted an unsettling encounter at Russell Simmons' home, where the individual allegedly witnessed Simmons in a compromising situation. It was implied that Diddy may have learned from such mentors, contributing to his current behavioral issues. This sentiment is further amplified by concerns regarding Diddy's alleged drug and alcohol use, which some believe have exacerbated his conduct. Diddy's longtime acquaintances have also commented on his deteriorating character, stating that substance abuse turned him into a beast. One individual recounted personal experiences, stating, "I'm not going to say allegedly because I saw it for myself." The severity of the situation has prompted comparisons to the tragic losses of other hip-hop icons, like Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., with some viewing Diddy's downfall as one of the greatest tragedies to hit the genre. As details of the case continue to emerge, another incident has come to light, further implicating Diddy in a pattern of abusive behavior. The judge presiding over his case denied a $50 million bail offer made by Diddy's legal team. In exchange for his release, Diddy had promised not to host any more parties with women at his residence. However, the judge refused the offer, citing Diddy as a flight risk. Moreover, the court highlighted previous instances where Diddy had tampered with witnesses, reinforcing the decision to keep him in custody. Currently, Diddy is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York's notorious prison. Due to the high-profile nature of the case and potential safety concerns, Diddy is being kept separate from the general population. Some inmates may view taking him out as a way to gain a reputation, given the significance of his celebrity status. The prison has seen other famous faces in its cells, including R. Kelly and Ghislaine Maxwell. In addition to witness testimony, the prosecution has collected substantial evidence from Diddy's electronic devices, including his phone, computers, and hard drives, along with statements from over 50 witnesses. Reports also claim that a stash of pink powder, believed to be narcotics, was found in Diddy's hotel room following his recent trip to New York. While the substance has not yet been officially tested, prosecutors argue that it resembles drugs found in previous searches of Diddy's properties, further solidifying the case against him. Despite the overwhelming evidence, Diddy's legal team is pushing back, with his lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, adamant that the music mogul's actions involved consenting adults and do not amount to any criminal activity. Agnifilo emphasized in court that Diddy should not be compared to notorious sexual offenders like R. Kelly or Keith Raniere, insisting that Diddy's circumstances are entirely different. The defense argues that the relationships in question were consensual, albeit flawed, and that while Diddy may have been unfaithful during difficult periods in his life, these actions do not constitute criminal misconduct.
Agnifilo further claimed that the federal case lacks merit, asserting that it is an overreach by prosecutors. He emphasized that the accusations of trafficking stem from infidelity, not illegal conduct. The defense is attempting to frame the charges as a misinterpretation of Diddy's private life, arguing that what the prosecution views as criminal acts were, in reality, consenting relationships gone awry. Agnifilo's defense strategy hinges on re-characterizing the narrative surrounding Diddy's relationships, suggesting that while his personal life may have been fraught with extramarital affairs, these instances do not rise to the level of trafficking or coercion. The defense team is determined to demonstrate that Diddy's interactions with the women involved were consensual, despite being complicated by the intricacies of his personal relationships. The prosecution, however, remains steadfast, arguing that the case against Diddy is not one of mere infidelity but rather a pattern of calculated manipulation and exploitation. They believe that Diddy's influence, coupled with the pressure he placed on those around him, created an environment where consent was not truly possible. Furthermore, they claim that Diddy has engaged in witness tampering, including attempts to silence individuals who have spoken out about his behavior. One such instance involved a former girlfriend and hotel staff who allegedly witnessed a violent altercation between Diddy and his then-girlfriend, Cassie, at a Los Angeles hotel years ago. Prosecutors presented evidence suggesting that Diddy's employees tried to cover up the incident, including mysteriously erasing hotel security footage that allegedly captured Diddy kicking and stomping on Cassie during the altercation. Although the footage was reportedly deleted, CNN later obtained and released the video, bringing to light the severity of the incident. Diddy eventually apologized for the altercation after a lawsuit filed by Cassie last year, acknowledging his actions as indefensible. In another shocking revelation, prosecutors claimed that Diddy attempted to intimidate another woman who had accused him of sexual assault. They allege that Diddy reassured one of his bandmates that the accuser would not pose a threat as long as she continued to support him. This pattern of witness intimidation has raised serious concerns about Diddy's ability to avoid accountability for his actions.
Adding to the mounting pressure on Diddy, investigators discovered several bags of pink powder believed to be narcotics inside his hotel room after a recent trip to New York. While the powder has yet to be tested, prosecutors argue that it bears a strong resemblance to substances found in previous raids of Diddy's properties, which tested positive for drugs such as ecstasy. The government's case against Diddy is buttressed by a vast collection of evidence, including video footage, interviews with over 50 witnesses, and the retrieval of electronic devices like cell phones, computers, and hard drives. As Diddy's legal team continues to mount a defense, they face an uphill battle against the breadth of the prosecution's case. Despite their insistence that Diddy's actions involved only consenting adults, the prosecution is adamant that his behavior reflects a pattern of criminal misconduct. Agnifilo, Diddy's lead attorney, has gone to great lengths to differentiate Diddy from other high-profile offenders, stressing that the circumstances of his case are far removed from those involving notorious figures like R. Kelly or Jeffrey Epstein. He argued that while Diddy may have been involved in infidelity, these situations do not constitute criminal acts or coercion. Agnifilo's defense is further complicated by the court's refusal to grant bail. Despite offering a substantial $50 million bond and a promise to abstain from hosting any gatherings involving women at his home, the judge ruled that Diddy posed both a flight risk and a danger to the community. This decision was influenced in part by Diddy's wealth, which prosecutors argued would enable him to evade justice. They also cited his history of witness tampering as a major factor in keeping him behind bars. Following the court's denial of bail, Agnifilo expressed disappointment with how the case has been handled. He claimed that Diddy had traveled to New York with the intention of turning himself in but was instead arrested before he could do so. Agnifilo argued that the government did not give Diddy the opportunity to surrender voluntarily, stating, "The government didn't want him to turn himself in. They decided to arrest him instead." The severity of the charges against Diddy has cast a long shadow over his career and personal life. Prosecutors have portrayed him as a dangerous figure at the center of a criminal enterprise, one who used his power and influence to manipulate and control those around him. They allege that Diddy's wealth and status allowed him to escape scrutiny for years, but now, with the weight of evidence against him, he is facing a reckoning. Despite the overwhelming case presented by the prosecution, Agnifilo remains hopeful that the bail appeal hearing will yield a different outcome. He maintains that Diddy is prepared to fight the charges, insisting on his innocence and determination to prove that the allegations are unfounded. Agnifilo's strategy revolves around framing Diddy not as a predatory figure but as someone whose personal failings, namely his infidelity, have been misconstrued and blown out of proportion. During Diddy's initial court appearance, he maintained a calm and composed demeanor, wearing casual attire, a black t-shirt, sweatpants, and Air Jordan sneakers. He showed little emotion as the judge reviewed the charges against him. Throughout the proceedings, Diddy's family, including 3 of his sons, sat in the courtroom offering their support as he faced the gravity of the federal charges. In the coming weeks, Diddy's defense team will continue to challenge the prosecution's narrative, seeking to shift the focus away from allegations of abuse and exploitation. Agnifilo's argument centers on portraying Diddy's actions as part of a complicated, but ultimately consensual, personal life rather than a criminal enterprise. The defense insists that Diddy is ready to contest the charges head-on, aiming to clear his name and refute the allegations of wrongdoing. As the case moves forward, it remains to be seen how Diddy's legal team will navigate the complexities of the charges against him. The court's decision to deny bail underscores the seriousness of the accusations, and with a mountain of evidence still being examined, Diddy faces an uncertain future. His defense may rely heavily on reshaping public perception of his actions, but with witness testimony, electronic evidence, and past incidents all working against him, the outcome of this legal battle is far from certain. For now, Diddy remains behind bars, awaiting the next phase of his trial. His attorney, Agnifilo, has vowed to continue fighting for his client's release and is preparing to present a strong defense in court. Whether the defense's strategy of reframing the narrative will succeed or if Diddy will ultimately face the full consequences of the allegations against him is a question that will be answered in the courtroom.